Number 26, a circle in the xy plane has its center at -1, 1. Okay, I have tried drawing this on a grid and I wasn't able to do it, so we're just going to kind of imagine the grid. I'm just going to put the numbers that were given. Okay, so its center is at -1, 1. Line T is tangent to this circle at the point 5, -4, which is going to be like over here somewhere. And this point is 5, -4. And this line is, it's tangent to it. Whoa. What happened with that line? All right, let's, can I draw a straight line, please, there? Whiteboard, there we go. That kind of went crazy, didn't it? All right, so that's kind of, it's not the worst line I've ever drawn. It's not perfectly lined up for my purposes here, but that's pretty good. Okay, so when we have a line T that is, come on, T that is tangent to this point, what does it make? What interesting thing does it do? It makes, if you draw a line from the center of the circle to that point, it will make a right angle. Okay, so we have two perpendicular lines. This is going to be a big thing. What are they wanting us to find? What's the last sentence, last question in this problem? Which of the following points also lies on line T? So I need to know the equation of this line. That's how I'm going to do this. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what is the slope of this line? Once I know the slope of this line, I can determine the slope of line T because they're perpendicular to each other. So first, how do we find slope? It is change in y over change in x. I'm going to start with the y's of either of these points. I can go in either direction, put them on the top of the fraction, and then put the x's on the bottom. You're going to see it written in your book as like y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you're taking the y's and then subtracting and putting them over the x's and subtracting. The only key is whichever point you start with, you have to start with it on both top and bottom. And what I mean by that is if I start with my -1, 1, I start with that y that is 1, and then I'm going to subtract the other y. Now for the bottom, I need to start with this point again, -1. I cannot start over here with the 5. Nope. I started with the 1 on top, so now I have to do the -1 on the bottom. -1 minus +5. Okay, so 1 minus a -4 is 5, and -1 minus 5 is -6. So the slope of that line that goes from the center to that point is -5/6. Now, to get from one line to the other one that's perpendicular, you're going to take the negative reciprocal, the opposite reciprocal. This one's negative, so my other slope for line T must be positive, 5/6. The reciprocal of that is 6/5. Okay, so now I know that the slope, m is slope in our y equals mx plus b slope intercept form, because that's what I'm going to use. I know the slope is 6/5. Okay, so now how do I find the equation of this line? And why am I doing this? Why am I doing the equation of the line? The equation of a line, then I can determine which point is on that line. But I need that equation for that line first. Okay, so 6/5, and I'm going to write this over here on the left, y equals mx plus b. And I know that 6/5 is my slope. Now I have my slope in there, I need to solve for b, and then I'll have the equation of the line. And that's important because once I have the equation of the line, then I can determine which of these 4 points is on that line. So to solve for b, I need an x and a y, so that I only have that b variable left. And I know that 5, -4 is on this line, so that is an x and a y value. So I'm going to plug those in. -4 goes in for y, and I have 6/5. My x is 5, and then plus b. Okay, so here, 6/5 times 5, those 5's cancel out, because I'm saying 6 divided by 5, it's another way of saying that, times 5. So those cancel, and that just leaves me 6. So -4 equals 6 plus b. To get rid of, that looks like b plus b, I apologize. Let's write this a little more clearly. 6 plus b, there we go. And so to solve for b, since 6 here is positive or it's being added, I need to do the opposite. I need to subtract 6 from both sides. And I get that b is equal to negative 10. Now I know my final equation for that line is y equals 6/5 x minus 10. At this point you have two options. You can plug in each of your 4 points one by one. If you're very fast at plugging numbers in and multiplying, that may be the best choice for you. The other way you can do it is you take this y equals 6/5 x minus 10, plug that into Desmos, and you drag up and down that line until your x is at each of these positions and see what the y value is. So you drag, you drag your stylus along it, your pointer along it, and so like you get to where x is 0 and see is the y 6/5. And you go down and you look for each of those. For me, that's the fastest way. But either way you can do it. I just go whoop, whoop, and I check very quickly. And if you do that, either way that you do it, you will find your answer is C, 10/2 is the point that's on that line. Hey guys, just a quick heads up, I've got some cool stuff coming for y'all, including a free course full of SAT tips and tricks, as well as an exhaustively complete course on everything you need to know for the SAT, both math and reading. So subscribe to the channel to get notified when that goes live. I'm also going to put it in the comments and description below as soon as it does. In the meantime, if this video was helpful or useful in any way, please let YouTube know. Comment, like, share, subscribe, you know the drill. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.